Here are 3 mobile brain games that I would play post-concussion. Einstein Balls is one of the games that I really like because it targets areas that I was struggling in a lot post-concussion. So post-concussion, I had a really hard time with seeing and understanding words, also with images, but it would happen more frequently with words. I would look at something and I can see the letters there, but I couldn't comprehend what I was looking at. With Einstein Balls, there's 5 different games. First one is tap the dots that match the color text. This one is, I probably can't play it at the same time, we'll see. So as you can see here, it says blue, but it's in the color yellow. And then another one is, it says green, but it's in the color red. The point is for you to tap the colors that match what it says, not what it shows. And then there's the avoid, which is the opposite of that. It says blue, but it's in the color green. And then you want to tap the color that does not match the word. With chain, you remember the pattern and tap the dots in the correct order. Pattern, remember the dot positions and then tap them. And so you see it all at once and you just have to remember them within a certain time frame, and then tap as you go along. As you can see, this one I can do a little bit better while I'm talking at the same time. I think because I have a visual memory and this has always been a lot easier for me, remembering the visual cues. It's not using words as much, so I personally struggle when it matches words with something else. In that one app, there's the 5 games. As a former dog trainer, there were 3 things that I kept in mind when training dogs. It was distance, duration, distraction. And it feels like I'm just kind of treating myself like a board and train, and I'm assessing all the variations and my output due to the different variations, as opposed to clumping them all together and not understanding how to make progress. So I'm making a lot of micro steps for myself and then gauging how I perform on that so that I know how to adjust and train myself a little bit more effectively. I'm not saying that these are going to be the same micro steps for everyone. I don't know, and I'm not a professional concussion recovery person. I'm just kind of sharing the fact that I'm treating myself like a board and train so that I can make some sort of progress with very limited resources. So, Impulse is another app that I like. I was actually using this app even before I had my concussion. I had been playing it for a while already. I even did the paid version of it prior to my concussion because I loved it so much, and unfortunately, ironically, don't have the paid version now. You can take a test in the beginning when you create your account with Impulse. Test will personalize the program for you. So the other part that I've been thinking about and considering is, right now, the games that I play on Impulse are kind of geared towards my strengths. So that's a huge difference between Einstein Balls and Impulse. And it doesn't have to be like that for you. It's just kind of how it's already been set up for me. But even on the free version, you get 3 different games for your personalized program per day. So because I don't have the paid version anymore, I kind of just focus on those 3 games and then play them. And it's very randomized so that you can kind of change it up. You're not doing the same thing every single time like you are with Einstein Balls. You are relearning different games per day, or you're building up on something you've previously played but may not have played the day or 2 prior. So it's scattered around and you have time to rest in between each game and see how your brain digests that information before you try doing that game again and seeing your performance. As you can see, there's like so many different types of games that you can play just from this one app, and they do have really great sales throughout. So if at any point you're like, okay, I do want to try the paid version, you can always wait for a deal. The third app is Lumosity. You get free games and then you get full library of games when you pay. One of the games I just played is called Masterpiece, and it's for spatial reasoning. So I like that game because when it came to my vision, even though I did better with images compared to words, sometimes my ability to turn things around and like problem solve just in my head without visually seeing it was slower after my concussions. Even though I can do it, I can feel how I'm not as fast as before. This is just one of those things where like I used to be able to look at something and be able to turn it around in my head and see the outcome a lot faster, and this feels like a game that bridges that gap. There are other ones similar to Einstein balls where they have the color mesh, they also have that. And then the word bubbles. The word bubbles are one of those things where I don't know if I can play this at the same time. I like word bubbles because it feels fun, and even though it's words, it's letting me just spit out a bunch of words that I can remember off the top of my head. And I kind of use this more for speed as opposed to learning something new, like learning a new word. I don't use this to learn new words. I don't use it to process the word that is in front of me or process information that's in front of me. I use this more for memory recall with the words I already know and get them out as fast as I can, which to me relates to real life because after my concussion, I was also struggling to get my words out. I was struggling with, I know that word, but I couldn't remember it. I couldn't get it out. It's not the same as like having the word at the tip of your tongue. It's more like a block where I know it's somewhere in there in the back of my head, but for some reason I couldn't reach into that bucket. Also, this game just feels a little less pressure to me, so maybe that's another reason why I find it super fun, because all the other games that I'm relearning things like spatial reasoning and, you know, trying to translate what's in front of me and then having an output or a response to what's in front of me is a lot more brain power. So yeah, this just kind of feels more fun. Oh, the other thing I like about Lumosity is that you have a performance index. I really like my data. Everything I do way before my concussion. That's why I loved understanding my performance in sports, the way I could score something so I knew and understood how to do better. I just see numbers in my head and I categorize everything and then I have scores for them. That's just how I think in general, and it helps me understand and track how was I doing last month versus how am I doing this month, and what do I need to do, what micro steps do I need to create to do better.